Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Scarf Bergara Wore. This is the match preview pod for the upcoming game against Blackpool. Normally you're expecting Lauren, but she couldn't be with us this week, so you've got me instead. I'm joined by John from Seasiders podcast. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, Steve. Thanks for having me.
So how's it going this week then? Have you had a good week?
Yeah, considering the news on after the match on Saturday, had the event in question not happened, I would be in a very dismal mood, but I'm in a lot better mood vis-a-vis the removal of Steve Bruce.
Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting one because I remember last season I was listening to a pod. I don't know if it was a Blackpool pod or it was like a League One kind of general pod, but I got the feeling at the time that Steve Bruce had inherited a squad and he was getting the best out of them. And I think he had I think it was like about 1.6 points a game for the season. So it sounded promising. I don't know if I interpreted that correctly, but was that the case? And if so, what went wrong?
Yeah, so he inherited a very well-drilled, very well-coached squad under Neil Critchley, who had his own way of playing, very possession-based game. So it was really dull to watch, but effective in some respects. Now, Steve came in and completely changed the tactics to 4-2-4, which kind of instantly changed our attacking intent, and it was a lot better on the eye, easier to watch. Scored quite a few more goals, and just brought the excitement back to Bloomfield Road in a way. Well, not much to Bloomfield Road because we didn't win at home for about 3 months under him. We just had a fabulous away record, best away record I can remember in 40 years nearly of supporting Blackpool.
Yeah.
There was obviously the incident with his grandson, which was quite sad, and that kind of knocked the wind out of his sails, really. So he was out of the game for 5 games, and then Steve Agnew, our assistant coach, took the reins, and he was like an unmitigated disaster, really. We were terrible under him. Yeah. And then, Steve came back and results, they were okay. Performances were okay, and results were okay. But we did tail off towards the end, and there were kind of warning signs to the back end of last season.
In what way?
We were very one-dimensional in our play. Just a rigid 4-4-2. Sorry, 4-2-4, but 4-4-2 wingers. 4 at the back always at the time. We always had 2 in midfield. And what tended to happen, the modern way, people have 3 centre mids, and that was countering our 2, and we were getting overrun in quite a few games. We were playing like we're the away team all the time, even at home. We're just sitting back, looking for
it's no good.
Looking for breaks, and and that's carried on to this season. And in every game at home, we're like it's like we're playing Liverpool or City. We're just hanging on to try and catch the team on the break and hopefully hit them. And it did work last season, but it's been really exposed this season. It's been really poor, and we've looked completely clueless. But what's even worse is they don't look match fit, they don't look coached, they don't look well drilled, and a lot of the players just look completely disinterested. And it looked to me like he'd lost the dressing room. So
and it was. I looked at your results, and was it? I think you'd had 2 wins, 2 draws, and was it 7 defeats?
7,
yeah. And so I mean, the Wimbledon game on Saturday was the final nail in the coffin, was it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, he should have gone 2 games previously. We got a last-minute winner against Barnsley, and that was kind of a stay of execution. My mate said to me, that's just going to prolong the agony, and he was right. So we'd gone to Bradford, lost. They're obviously at top of the league, but we didn't put in a great performance. Wimbledon, you could sort of feel it in the air, the tension, and as soon as you can feel it, like as soon as as the opposition scores, the pressure rises on Bruce. The whole mood in the ground changed when the second went in. The whole ground went off in, like Bruce out kind of chant. So yeah, that was the final straw, really. I think he was on borrowed time.
So I mean, prior to him coming in, I mean, I've never been his biggest fan as a manager, to be honest. It's like I'm only an outsider looking in. So when Blackpool kind of got Bruce in, I thought, you know, it's that big name signing, but will it work? But what were the fans kind of thinking when he did come into the club? Was it positive?
Well, after the Mick McCarthy experience, no, it wasn't. We just thought it'd be another sort of aging manager in the twilight of the career. It did turn out to be that way in the end, but I personally didn't want him as the manager. I wanted Richie Wellens, ex-Blackpool player, doing really well at Orient.
He's a proper good manager.
He's a really good manager, particularly at this level. He can get teams out of, you know, lower divisions, lowish budget, which is ironic. Like Steve Bruce has had a massive budget. He's had the biggest budget I can remember in my time as a Blackpool fan. He's been really backed. But yeah, the general consensus was it was a poor appointment at the time. But people warmed to him really because the football under Neil Critchley, it was just mind-numbing stuff. You know, possession for possession's sake, left to right, left to right, left to right, up, down, back. 78 possession. 78% possession without doing anything with it. So I think anything would have been a breath of fresh air, really.
And so was it a surprise? I know you kind of wanted it to happen, but was it a surprise when it happened? Because it was after the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, not long after. I think I wasn't surprised because Simon Sadler doesn't really mess about when it comes to managerial sackings. He can be quite sort of pulling the trigger pretty quick. Critchley was sacked 2 games in after last season. Should have gone in the summer really, but didn't. So I think he'd seen enough already in the 2 seasons in. I think the writing was on the wall for Steve Bruce because Simon Sadler's a very analytical person. He's made his money in multiple millions in hedge funds. So he's I would guess he's a very data-driven person.
Yeah.
And a lot of our stats across the board, like XG, expected assists, goals, defense, all the stats were like we were 23rd, 22nd.
Yeah,
across the board.
It's the game these days, isn't it? We're exactly the same. It's all data-driven.
So it was like a combination of that, the results and the style of play. And I think also the fact, as I've touched on before, that he's been seriously backed in the transfer window, something Stockport all know about.
Oh, yeah.
When we got Horsfall off yourselves, apparently we've outbid a lot of clubs for him, offering him top wages, and that never happens for Blackpool.
Yeah, and it's a 4-year deal as well, wasn't it?
Sorry, what was that?
It was a 4-year deal they've offered him as well.
So, 4-year deal, big contract. He's not the only one. We've signed Dale Taylor on big money. George Honeyman can't have come cheap. You know, he's a top championship player. We've got a couple of loanees from Palace. Well, one's gone now, but they're obviously on big money, and he's been severely backed in this window. And for us to put in the kind of performances we have been doing, it's just been absolutely criminal, really. The money he's had, and lazy, almost very lazy, just uncoached, one-dimensional.
Yeah. So kind of talking about the transfer window, I mean, again, looking outside in, I was looking at we offered Horsfall a contract, but we all knew he was going because I can't remember which club. Was it Huddersfield? They thought he was going to Huddersfield, and then last minute he's going to Blackpool on a 4-year deal. And you must have offered him good money. It must have been, well, I don't know, but I would have thought it was more than what we were prepared to offer. And it's not really gone so well for him, from what I can gather.
So he scored an own goal on his date. It wasn't an own goal. It was a terrible back pass. What I can't remember.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, it was like a back pass, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a terrible back pass. But that's in your first game. You know, these things happen, don't they? You can be nervous on debut. Yeah. And I think he got a bit of a knock, and he's not been back in the side since, which none of us can fathom why. He's not injured. We've got a really dodgy centre half alongside Ollie Casey's our other centre half. He's a revelation last season. He looks like half the player he was.
Yeah.
We've signed this guy called Heckway from Sheffield Wednesday. He's really dodgy. Come from Sheffield Wednesday connections, sort of an old boys club signing. 33-year-old, massive contract again. But I'm just speculating with Horsfall, but we all think he's probably said something to Steve Bruce. and
Okay.
he's been frozen out because of that. It's happened to a couple of our players. He's obviously doesn't like what he said. No, I'm just guessing. Like he's not liked what he's seen. He said something to Bruce, and he's done that to him. So we've not really. I can't really give you an opinion on him because I've barely seen him play, which is
I mean,
ridiculous.
for us, he was a great player. You know, and we were all gutted to see him go. You know, we've replaced now, but at the time it was like, yeah, he's one we would have liked to have kept. When he's played for us, he's give it everything, wears the heart on his sleeve, and you know, pops up with goals at the other
Got that
end.
goal in the playoffs for you, didn't he? I was watching
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
absolutely. And you know, absolute great player. So I was surprised to see he kind of hadn't done well. And when I saw the signings you were making in the summer, I thought, you know, this is a team looking for at least playoffs. You know, I would have thought. So in kind of like in terms of your expectations, is that kind of what you were thinking, playoffs, or did you have higher or lower?
Well, yeah, as I said, being a Blackpool fan, obviously we've been in the Premier League a time ago, but even then we never spent money.
Yeah,
We were taking loan players from the Championship that had never been done before. We had a 11-man squad or something like that, ridiculous going into the final 3 days before the season. We were just signing free players, loanees. So even with all that money, we never signed anyone.
yeah,
But as I said, this is the pretty much the only time our manager's been seriously backed. And for us to be where we are with that backing, it's criminal, really. And I expected playoffs at a minimum, or I was knocking on the door.
yeah.
I didn't expect us to be where we are.
No, he's second bottom at the moment.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's on goal difference. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, any kind of names being kind of bandied about? Anybody you'd like to see? Well, you said Richie Wellens already, but I suspect he's not gonna leave where he's at. So, what you think?
I don't know, because he did issue a veiled "come and get me" plea when Critchley was sacked. He sort of intimidated to the, didn't say I'm available. It was the way he said it. He's from the area. He's Manchester lad, isn't he? And he's obviously got a good history with Blackpool. Played with us 5-6 years. Would he be willing to? Well, would he enjoy a move back to the Northwest and a decent squad and transfer budget? Has he ever had that in clubs he's managed in the past? Probably not. If we offered it, would he come? I think it'd be a 50-50. It's not the Blackpool thing to get other people's managers. It'd be actually nice if we actually did that for once. That aside, a couple of names that are banded around was Ian Everett from Bolton.
Yeah,
he's surprisingly he's a bit of a Marmite figure at the moment with the fan base. I don't know. There's off the field issues with Bolton that a lot of Bolton fans are telling us about. We don't know about that, but his record aside isn't that bad. He did very well at Barrow. A lot of their fans were saying it's the best football they've ever seen, which he kind of modelled on Ian Holloway under Blackpool in the Premier League. Got Bolton up, didn't he? Got them up in the playoffs, won the Virtue Trophy, and he obviously tailed off, didn't he, to half a season, and then they've got rid of him. So I wouldn't be that unhappy if it was Ian Everett. He's another Blackpool legend, knows the club inside out, so that won't be too bad. Other names that are banded around: Matt Bloomfield, great name, perfect for the Bloomfield Road hot seat.
Yeah.
Another man he knows the division quite well. Did very well at Wickham. Sort of an outsider is Damien Duff as well in Shelbourne. I think he's just.
Was he at Huddersfield last season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's Michael Duff.
Oh, that's Michael Duff,
yeah.
isn't
Do
it?
you remember he used to play for Blackburn?
Yeah, of course.
Damien Duff, blonde hair. He's very well regarded, apparently. Obviously, the other people saying Ian Holloway, but I think I don't want to besmirch his time at Bloomfield, so I can't see Ollie coming back. I don't think I'd want to see that either, to be honest.
Yeah. So what's the deal for Saturday, and who's going to be in the dugout?
It will be Stephen Dobby, who has played for us for about 5 times on loan. He played for us loads and loads of times in the past. Scored in the Premier League. The Premier League playoff semi-final against Forest. So he's a bit of a legend as well. So he's been a coach he took over last time as the interim manager. Last time we had a break in between managers, did very well.
Did he?
Yeah, so he'll be in charge. Yeah, you always get time. You seem to get the new manager bounce, don't you? Or the caretaker manager bounce as well.
Honestly, our forums blew up when we found out you sacked Bruce on Saturday. I was like, oh, could you not have waited another week? Do you know? It's just like, it can go either way, can't it? But you always feel you get that new manager bounce. You get players playing for contract, not for contracts, but for places in the team. You assume the new manager might be in the crowd watching. So it's going to be an interesting one. And so in kind of, I mean, it's quite a tricky question, this, but in terms of, I was going to ask you, what type of formation do we expect to see?
Oh.
I suppose we're not going to know.
Definitely, I wouldn't have thought it before 4-2. I'm hoping they've put that in the bin. Most to the point, we were playing a 4-4-2, which can be a long ball game in areas without any target men up front. It was absolutely ridiculous. We signed a guy called Niall Ennis, great last season. He isn't a target man at all, and he actually got injured trying to take a high ball out of the air. You know, it was like an aerial bombardment. He wasn't massive, but that was the job he was supposed to do, and he's eventually gone over on his calf, challenging for a high ball. So
is he out now?
Yeah, so we've got a massive injury list as well. Ennis is out, Honeyman out. He's the battery of the watch. He's out.
I noticed he was like the highest rated player on FOTMob.
Yeah. He's a great player at this level. He's out. Danny Imre's out, right back, marauding right back. Who else? Yeah, it's basically all our best players out. Our left back's out. We've got this really good winger called what's his name now? He's a new Scott. That's his surname. He's out as well. He was a real threat.
Yeah.
We signed from St. Pauli in Germany. So we've got an awful injury record. But as for the formation, I really couldn't answer that question. It depends what Dobby does on Saturday. He's a forward player, by the way. So obviously Steve Bruce defender, Mick McCarthy defender.
So you kind of expect a little bit more attacking, you would think.
I would like to think so as well. And given the personnel that we've got, we don't have any target men. So I'm hoping we play to Dale Taylor's strengths. So I would imagine it would be a very a 4-2-3-1 perhaps with an emphasis on the midfield. Yeah,
because this injury thing, it seems to be every club I speak to at the moment. They've all got an injury crisis. I don't know what's going on at clubs, but we've been struggling for 3 years now, and it just seems to be every player we sign or all our best players, they all get injured.
That's interesting.
I was speaking to I can't remember, it was a few weeks ago. I think it was Rotherham. I can't remember, but it's just the same. And you hear it in all the pods, and it's like everyone's got an injury crisis. It's weird. It's weird.
Maybe it's the modern way of playing that does it.
Maybe. But
I mind you, that wouldn't affect Blackpool because we played 1990s football. So scratch that.
Yeah. So, what are your kind of expectations in terms of what you're hoping from the game on Saturday? A performance, I guess.
A performance. We don't get turned over, and I'd be more than happy with a point. But the performance is the main thing, and to actually go there and enjoy the game. That'll be good enough for me. A point and enjoy the game, and seeing a team that wants to pull on the Blackpool shirt and put a performance in and go at the opposition.
I suspect you'll get that. I mean, we're only just beginning to click. It's took us a while to click, and it just seems to be happening. But we don't seem to be winning at home all the time. So it's going to be interesting how it goes. From our point of view, we'll be wanting to put a performance together and try and get that win. But who knows what can happen against, like you say, new manager bounce. I'm sure Fraser Horsall will start. I'm pretty sure he'll score.
What sort of reception will he get, interestingly?
I think he'll be all right because everybody loved him. The thing is, when we signed him from Northampton, he was in League One and we were in League Two, and he ran his contract down, and then he went for a bigger deal with us. So he got like a 3-year deal with us, and it seems like he's just done the same thing. So he's got to the point where his contract, he's ran it down despite offers being on the table, and then got a better deal, which you can't blame the players.
Well, he was 28, isn't he? It could be a last big payday, couldn't it?
Yeah. So I think he might get a little bit of hostility, but I think 90% of the crowd see him as a great player, great servant to the club. I think he'll get a decent reception as long as he doesn't score. But yeah, he's a character.
It's bound to happen, isn't it?
I know.
He's been frozen out all season.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. And I was kind of looking at a few kind of players that have played for both clubs, and I was looking down the line because I didn't realise Ricky Lambert played for Blackpool. He started his career at Blackpool.
Cut his teeth there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I didn't realise that, and he went on to good things. And obviously Fraser. We've still got Callum Connolly. How's he getting on? Well,
what position is he playing? Interestingly, because he's played everywhere for us. Left wing. Can you believe that he played at left wing back one?
Wow. I mean, Charlie likes to have a player who's like a utility player who can fill a number of positions, but he's played a lot of games at centre back. And to be honest, I wasn't sure what to expect because when we signed him, I saw a lot of Blackpool fans say, "Oh, he's not so good" or whatever. But he's been great. He
never played for us as centre half, and a centre half's his best position.
Right. Well, that doesn't help, does it? But no, he's been great, and he's unlucky because he started the first 7 or 8 games, and we kept leaking goals, and they weren't really his fault. But something had to change at the back, and he made some changes, and now he's on the bench. So I'm pretty sure he won't start on Saturday, but he's more than likely will come on depending on the game goes. So we'll see what happens then. So yeah, Ricky Lambert, Callum Connolly, also Lee Jones as well, ex-goalkeeper.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to rack my brain now.
Yeah.
So Andy Priest.
Yeah, Andy Priest, of course. Yeah, I forgot he played for Blackpool. Yeah, he was a big name for us.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was a big wow signing for us at the time. Yeah. I remember he scored like a half bicycle, half scissors kick on his debut in a friendly, and everyone was like going, "Oh my God, what a player!" He never did that again after that.
He did really well for us, but yeah, I don't know if you remember Kevin Francis.
I do, yeah, Big Kev, yeah.
So there was Big Kev and Andy Priest up front. Yeah. So the pair of them, it was great back in the night.
I remember those days. Yeah.
And I remember going down at Bluefield Road. I think Trevor Sinclair scoring 2, I think, and back then. But then we've not played each other for years, really, apart from last season.
I always remember with that game when Trevor scored that goal. I was in the west, the old west stand at Blackpool where the dugouts where there was a terrace at the front.
Yeah.
And the dugouts weren't big enough for the subs, so your subs were like literally sat on a bench.
Yeah.
And the Blackpool fans are just like right behind them. And I was when one Blackpool fan said, "What do you think of that, Kev?" And he looked around and he went, and he gave a really funny nod of approval.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he was some player for you, and he went on. Sinclair went on to City, I think, didn't he?
QPR, City,
yeah. So I'll go for a prediction. What's your prediction for the game then?
Given our injury crisis, we'll probably lose the game. My head says, my heart says 1-1, but my head says 2-1. So I think we're probably going to lose. Got too much disorganisation, too many injuries, too many undrilled players. I think they'll give a good account of themselves, but I can see
you never know though. You never know.
Yeah,
and you'll be in the. I don't know if you know, but they're putting a stand on the away end.
I have seen the pictures of that. Yeah, what on earth?
Yeah,
there's more stanchions than seats by the looks of it.
We've been getting some grief on social media today, but it's I don't know if you know, it's a temporary stand, and it's basically we always have to give. We're in a real difficult situation because you have to give X percentage of your ground uncovered to away fans, and that kind of restrains us on how many home fans we can get in. So I think they've done it as a temporary solution.
Cheapest possible solution.
Yeah, because we're getting a brand new
that terrace is awful, isn't it? It used to be great on that terrace used to be great until they put those seats on. The seats, you're like, I went last season and you can barely move. You can't move your knees. You're scrunched in. Absolutely horrendous stewards as well. Like fights with other fans.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of kind of bad feedback about that. But yeah, so I mean that picture you saw, the stand was only took yesterday. So I hope it's done by.
That'll be up, will it, for Saturday? Blimey.
Allegedly. I mean, our owner's a property developer, so I'm hoping he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So look, thanks, John. Thanks for joining us. I hope you have a great day. I hope you don't win, but I hope you have a great day. And you know what it's like with football. It's when you get that manager change, it's just it's like a fresh start, isn't it? Yeah. It's a chance to go again. So I hope you have a good season after Saturday.
Yeah. As Reevesy said, it's a funny old game.
Yeah, absolutely. And where can people find you on socials if they want to check you out?
Just search up Seasiders Podcast, YouTube, Twitter. Those are our main two home bases. So if you want to go onto our YouTube channel, we'll be doing a preview tomorrow night with your good self. So
cool.
Stockport fans want to jump in and get involved, feel free. Say hello.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. Look, John, have a great day, and we might see you on Saturday.
Nice one. Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, mate.
See ya. Bye. Bye.